consultations, and also a training and education department is also located here. For the Indonesian suppliers, I also want to give some key facts about Germany. So Germany is the largest economy in Europe, so and also the third largest in the world. So it will also be for you like a major trade and investment destination. And it's a strong manufacturing base. So the country is known for its advanced manufacturing sector, especially in automotive machinery and also chemicals and electronics. Especially due to this advanced electronic market, which is proposed to grow in the future even more, especially regarding electronic components and also consumer electronics. There we see a good opportunity also for Indonesian suppliers. Germany has a high demand for imports. So Germany is mainly importing raw materials, components, and also finished goods. So there's also opportunity for Indonesian suppliers presented. And then last but not least, the strategic location in Europe. So if you already have a trade with the German market, then of course it also might open the path for you to access the European market, which has over 400 million consumers. And on the map here, on the side of the slide, you can also see like the city Bonn, which is marked with a star, because there in the German Chamber of Bonn, we have a representative for Indonesia, which is also supporting business in Germany, between Germany and Indonesia. I would like to mention a bit more about the German-Indonesian economic relations. So we can see here in the table some numbers. So the German exports to Indonesia increased over the last years, reaching 3.4 billion euros 2023. And the main export goods to Indonesia are machineries, chemicals, vehicles, and also pharmaceuticals. If we look at the other way around, German imports from Indonesia, in 2023, it reached 4.5 billion euros, which is a bit less than in the previous year. And that's mainly because Indonesia also faces some competitors from other ASEAN countries. So they also offer like competitive prices and sometimes also different or better trade conditions. So that's one fact. But then also in general, why the number is decreasing is because overall in 2023, their imports to Germany decreased by around 10%, mainly or partially also due to the declining import prices. However, the main import goods from Indonesia to Germany are in the textile sector, also agriculture, shoes, and electronics. Here you can see that still like Germany is among the highest like 50 partners of Indonesia regarding import. However, we see that there would be like a stronger possibility in the future to increase the trades also between these two countries, especially if we are looking regarding the discussions of the ongoing EU-Indonesia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. The negotiations are still ongoing at the moment, but it would support to reduce tariffs, fostering the trade, and also enhance future economic collaborations. However, it's not signed yet, but we are hoping it will be signed soon after the negotiations are over. But so far, there's already around 300 German companies which are operating here in Indonesia. If we look now at the fourth purchasing initiative ASEAN and what we would like to mainly discuss today, I would like to introduce the main buyer needs from German companies we identified so far for the Indonesian suppliers from the matchmaking platform from BME, who have already registered until now. So mainly they are looking for automotive parts, metal construction, mechanical and plant engineering, and also electronic components. So all of these which we can provide, or like Indonesian suppliers can provide from the local market here. And then why you as an Indonesian supplier company should join this BME initiative or purchasing initiative. It's like, firstly, you can through that expand your footprint in Europe, so gain access to the German and therefore then also the European market. So one of the key markets in this region. Also, while doing business with German partners, you will probably have like trustworthy and established German companies with which you can build a long-term relationship, which might also last longer than in the future. And we are happy to support that, of course. And in general, now through this purchasing initiative, you have the opportunity to get like free of charge, like the support from BMA and also, of course, from our side for the matchmaking with the German and Indonesian companies, and especially also for the Indonesian companies, if there's any support needed during the meetings or in forehand, we are happy to help. Also regarding maybe translation assistance or anything, please always let us know and we are happy to support. Regarding the support and our contact details, please find the slide here. So if there's any overall questions, please feel always free to contact me personally. But you can also, especially for the Indonesian companies, contact my colleague, Pak Boranto. He is also there to assist, especially also in Bahasa Indonesia, of course. If there is more specific questions, maybe either regarding registration, but also regarding like what kind of goods are needed from the German buyers. So please always feel free to contact us. That's all from my side so far, but also later on, of course, if you have any questions, let us know or just type it in the chat. We are happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. I take over. I hope you can see. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Thank you very much, Alexandra, for your presentation. I hand over to Mr. Eric Fuste, trade promotion consultant from the AHK Philippines.
Thank you very much. I hope you can see it or will load very soon. I will speak about the Philippine market now, or better, the perspective from the Philippines to Germany. And I'm based here in the Philippines, in Manila. I'm very happy to see so many Filipino companies already registered, as we are taking part in the second time now in that purchasing initiative. Just quickly about us, we heard that already. The chambers, the German chambers are very old and very far spread. So if you have any needs here in the Philippines itself, we have about 300 members. We have many events, and we also do quite a few publications on the area of procurement for German companies in the Philippines, investing here and so forth. That might be quite interesting. Maybe just a little bit for the business culture. This is quite important when you meet each other. You can see on the horizontal axis is the emotional, it's the confrontational, and then on the horizontal, the vertical is the emotional expressiveness. And you can see that the Philippines and Germany are very far apart. The Germans are not afraid of confrontation, but they don't like to express their emotions. And the Filipinos are in generally more apprehensive when it comes to confrontation, but they love to show their emotions. So that's, I hope you can keep that in mind when you meet each other. Germans can be a bit grumpy sometimes, but they mean it honestly, and they are happy to engage here. We also have a Philippine free trade agreement, Philippine-EU free trade agreement, which is negotiated. The current president in the Philippines wants to have it finished by the end of his term, which seem a bit ambitious, but it's good to get yourself ready for this, because in some point it will come in the next, well, maybe more like five years rather than 3 years. And then directly to Germany, the bilateral relations are very important. Many, of course, Filipinos work in Germany, especially in the healthcare sector, but the Philippines have more to offer as well, and especially those IT and electronic-based products are in high demand. Here's a short overview. I mean, it's very detailed. So you can maybe take a screenshot if you want to see it more closely, but electronics is very big in demand from the Philippines here, and that's especially PCBA boards who get exported. Sadly, it is a bit going a bit down, the export to Germany from the Philippines. And we hope that will recover from the sort of post-COVID lockdown high, and we will keep that growing, because with new alliances need to be made anyway. That has a huge potential. The German economy, as we heard already, where do the Philippines fit quite well in? And I just taken two very similar industries out for where you could try to fit in well, but they have certain regulations, especially in the automotive industry, where there's very specific regulations, which are sometimes a bit hard to keep, but especially those PCB and IC products. In the same as with the machinery industry, and there's a high demand. We have a lot of inquiries towards this here from German companies in the Philippines. But nevertheless, there's many more. I saw some food products and so on. Some German companies who look more for that. The Philippines are very big on food exports, but not so much yet on Europe. So we hope that will grow as well. And then there's a few other ones as well, in carpentry and so forth. We have a little feedback from last year. We recently met with the Department of Trade and Industry. That's here the economic ministry in the Philippines. And they've been very happy about this initiative. They're very excited, and they actually made a lot of advertising for it as well. So I presume some of the people who heard about it heard it through them as well. And yeah, so there's quite a few contracts in the negotiation from last year, and they are looking forward to more, and that this initiative grows, and of course coming back in the next few years. Some of the companies who are already exporting to Germany on a regular basis, you see some that's in the automotive industry, and they export already a lot, and they expand now into textiles and cables as well. And then IME is a very big PCB and IC producer who is very well established now already with several partners in Germany, which is quite good to see. And maybe one of the examples we can share is that recently the cooperation between IMI and Bosch has grown significantly. So that's there's lots of possibilities, but also for smaller Filipino producers of products which are exportable and with a bit of experience, maybe with exporting, there is a lot of potential there. And I believe lots of German companies also like to engage more with the Philippines, as it is yeah, on English, it's easy to do business here, and the people are very motivated here. And that's that. From me, just a short overview. You have here my contacts. Maybe if the quality of my presentation on the internet is good enough, you can also scan the QR code. But yeah, you can contact us. You might be contacted by my colleague as well, who sent out the emails, Miss Cerise. She couldn't be here today, but we work on that together on that initiative. But yeah, so thank you very much. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Eric, for the interesting presentation. We could hear you clearly, so definitely your internet was good. So that's I take over now. I had so now we are moving to the next part of our presentation, our session today.
I took over the presentation.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Now, yeah, I will pass it on to my colleague, Ms. Joanna Shanowska, International Project Manager at BME. So, Joanna, we are. No rush. You can take over now.
Definitely take my time. Thank you for your kind introduction, Rosie. It's also good because I have some important things to tell you about, to tell you more about the purchasing initiative itself. But first of all, I would like to welcome all of you from my side, to all the participants. We are very excited to have you here with us today. And of course, I would also like to express a big thank you to our partners and your direct contact persons who have already briefed you in on their activities and ways they can support also your business, as well as buyers interested in taking part in this purchasing initiative ASEAN this year, that will later on share some insights on their companies and their needs. As Rosie has already kindly mentioned, my name is Joanna Shanowska and I am an international project manager at BME. We as BME represent the German part, meaning coordinating buying companies and the B2B matchmaking within the events, making sure buyers' needs are addressed. And it is my pleasure to introduce the purchasing initiative to you today and give you some extra tips how this event can be successful for you and for your company. As you can see, we have a large network with a wide range of events planned for 2025, because our aim is to bring procurement transparency into many different regions of the world. Today, however, I would like to focus on our fourth purchasing initiative, Southeast Asia, which we have been commissioned to carry out on behalf of the German Federal Ministry of Economics and Climate Action as part of the market development program for primarily small and medium-sized enterprises of Germany Trade and Invest. I know this sentence was extremely long, so let me say it in other words. This means that basically the participation for all companies is free of charge, thanks to the Federal Ministry to Germany Trade and Invest. And as soon as you are connected with the buyers, meaning selected for online B2B meetings, you are more than welcome to join the event. And to make this matching process easier, we have launched the BME matchmaking platform, where you can find all the information about the events. I am sure most of you have already seen it. And I'm also aware that you were in contact with the partners and are probably aware of the fact that to take part in any events organized by us, it is crucial that you register free of charge, of course, and fill out your company profile on the website. So please, if you have not done it yet, take some time after the webinar to register on the platform or just update your profile, because we know many of you are already there in the system. You just have to update and select an appropriate event, meaning this fourth edition of the purchasing initiative. Of course, don't worry. As I have lots of time for my presentation, I will also go to the platform with you and show you how it works. As for now, you can, of course, already scan the QR code or just go to www.bmematchmaking.com and you will find further information there. And here the QR code, we have posted it again, so you have lots of time to do that. Now maybe a bit more about the fourth purchasing initiative ASEAN in detail, what it is, why we're doing it, and with who we're doing it. Of course, with our long-term partners from HKs, we have been conducting this event for the fourth time already, and we are very pleased that starting last year, it has been expanded to the Philippines and Indonesia. This is why we are here today. The first edition was, of course, new for all of us, with so many in total 7 countries, but we are very happy to see you here in a bigger number this year. It's just amazing to see how the region has been developing, to hear success stories from our buyers. But of course, something that I would like to point out already, this is a process. It means that it takes time. Buying companies interested in starting new long-term cooperations, like the buyers that will be introducing themselves today, aim to find suitable suppliers and business partners, but it requires some preparation and time. So purchasing initiative is really just the first step, just an initial get-together that can then transform into further cooperation. Some key facts for the Southeast Asian purchasing initiative. You can see here that the date is from the 16th of June until the 4th of July 2025. Don't worry, it does not mean that you have to be present there every day for 3 weeks. It just means that as it is an online event and with time difference, we have particular time frames that we have to stick to, meaning that the meetings will be flexible. It might be that you have one meeting on the 16th and another 2 meetings on the 30th of June. I'm now guessing, I hope it's not the weekend. Of course, we will not have any weekends on Saturday and Sunday, but just I just wanted to point out that we will have different meetings with different companies on different days. Of course, you will be notified in advance, at least 7 days prior to the initiative, so you can also prepare yourself and make time to join the meetings. As already mentioned, it's free of charge and will take solely online, and it's aimed at buyers and suppliers from 7 different countries in the Southeast Asian region. The product groups that are our core focus is metal processing, electronics, mechanical engineering, a lot of automotive, but also wood and paper and IT. Here on the right side again, you can see the QR code for our BME matchmaking platform, which you can gladly scan or take a picture. So I have already told you a lot about the initiative, about some advantages, but just to sum it up before I go directly to the platform, I just wanted to point out one more time why should you join the event? Of course, you can create and enlarge your business network, as all buyers interested in this event are looking forward to expand their supplier base in the ASEAN region. This only means that the more details you put into your profile, the more chances you have to show to the buyers the potential of your region, why they should start buying and expanding their network in Southeast Asia. Of course, you will meet suitable buyers in free online one-to-one meetings, which is an added value as long as you are well prepared, as long as you know your company, and I'm sure all of you do that and can perfectly introduce them. You can have direct contact with the buyers to tell them all about that. In pre-scheduled B2B meetings with buyers that selected you in advance on the platform, you will only meet buying companies that suit your competences and suit your profile. So meaning we do the pre-selection before, so we keep the meetings as efficient and effective as possible. What comes next? As you can see, we have created a short timeline for you to give you an overview what you can expect. As for today, we have our webinar, and we would be very pleased to see as many online RFI questionnaires and new accounts or updated accounts on the website BME matchmaking platform until the middle of March. Then we will activate all the supplying companies' profiles for the buyers, so they can also select you for B2B meetings. And in the end, we will ask you to register to the event in shop in your online account. This should be done by the middle of May. Before we start with the B2B meetings on the 16th of June, you will of course receive your B2B plan in advance from your from our partners, from your contact people from AHKs, so you can prepare well. I know it may sound a bit abstract right now. Some of you are already quite familiar with the platform, but due to many recent updates, please stay with me now, because I would like to show you the website and its features. So don't worry if this timeline was not completely understandable. I will hopefully change that in a second. So now I will go back to the platform itself. As you can see, on the main page, you see all upcoming events. As we are focused on the 4th Purchasing Initiative ASEAN, you can go directly to this event by clicking on our open event page. Here you can find more information about the event, some feedbacks from last year, and all our partners, of course. And then when you are already familiarized with the event, you can log in or register into your account. In the top right corner, I'm already registered and logged in, so I will go to your main dashboard. Your main dashboard is called My Overview. The first important thing that you have to do is set up your account. As the registration process has 2 steps, you will first put in some basic information about your company. This will be seen under My Account. with your company name and standard data like contact person and so on. As soon as this part is approved, you will be notified via email that your account is set up, and now it's time to fill out the questionnaire. What is this questionnaire that I'm talking about all the time? The questionnaire is basically your company profile. And here, it's very important. So this is probably the most important part if you would like to be successful during the event, because this is what the buyers see at first sight. Corporate website is probably the most crucial, as this is, of course, when they see your supplying company's profiles. When they see the list, I will show you the table later on how it looks like, because it's similar for buying companies and supplying companies. They will see and they will be able to be redirected straight to your corporate website. So please make sure that you typed it in correctly, as this will tell the buyers, give them the first insight and the first overview of your company. And then we move forward to some products and services. Here you can mark everything that you can do. What is very important is to specify the details, if you can specify them. As soon as you click on the, yes, I can do metalworking and blending parts, you can click on specify details, where you can type in the number, series, how big they should be, so the size. So everything that you can tell us about the products that you do. And this works for this works for all the things, everything that you can create, everything that you can produce. As you can see, the list is quite long, but if we still have missed something that you would like to share with the buyers that you can do, you can type it in others. If it refers to a specific product group, or you can just go down, and here, in which other products and services do you offer, you just provide a list of things that you also can produce, and services that you offer. And then when you scroll down, you also can say a bit, give some information about your experiences, about some certificates that you have. If you have a company presentation or some example products, you can upload up to 6 documents. And then, important thing, for your profile to be visible to the buyers, you have to send it to BME. If you make any updates, you send it to, or resend it in this case, to BME. This way we are notified that you have filled out or updated your questionnaire, and you have to, and we will approve it. As soon as it's sent to BME and we approve it, you have full access to the platform. So as you can see, taking the time to fill out the questionnaire is essential to be able to then take part in events. As soon as your account is ready, you go to My Overview and you select the event. Here on the top, you can see Select Events, and you select, in this case, our test supplier has selected some events here. Already, as you can see, 4th Purchasing Initiative ASEAN is already marked. I can do the same for the 11th CE Procurement Supply Forum, and so on. You will also see available events for your country. As soon as it's selected and you click on Select Events to update it, you can go to My Events, where you will see all the selected events and their current status. For us, fourth purchasing initiative ASEAN is the most important, and as you can see, you can already invite buyers because buying companies' profiles have been already activated in all supplying companies' accounts that have already selected this event. You click on event invite buyers, and here is the list of buyers or buying companies and then have already expressed their interest in the event. We are currently at 21 companies because we also have test buyer matchmaking here, but it's already a very good reason to really fill out your questionnaire to every detail because these are companies that really have a lot of potential also for expanding your business. Now you can of course filter. We have many filter options. You can filter the products that are of your interest, to see what the buyers do. You can also select some new buyers that came to it, or here you have many different filters that you can apply to see only the companies that you would like to talk to. And now the tip that will make this event more successful for you. It's an extra thing that you can do so your chances of being selected for B2B meetings by buyers are bigger. You can mark the companies that you would like to talk to, so you apply for meetings with them. Here in this column, would you like to meet the buyer? You click on yes or maybe. On yes if you are positive that you can deliver what the buyers need, and after confirming it, it will pop up as green. And then the buyers see then this your choice in their dashboards, in their accounts, and they see your companies as highlighted. So this means that in many cases they will have a look at your profile first. You also have this option here, who wants to meet me. You can just apply this filter. Nobody wants to meet me, said, but I'm just a test supplier. But this is exactly how it works also for the buyers. They can also apply this filter, who want to meet me, and then your company will be highlighted here. So after all that is done, and after you know that you have online meetings, you just go for the last step to the shop, where you can, not today, okay, where you can just write down, you just register for the event and write down the participants that will take part in online B2B meetings, so we know who to send the B2B schedule to. And that would be all from my side. I know, Rosie, you said to take my time. I really took it seriously this time. But I hope I gave you enough information, and you are now familiar with the process, with the purchasing initiative. I hand over back to you. Thank you from my side.
Thank you very much, Joanna. You covered all the important, all the relevant topics, and give all the good overview to the participants. I hope you can see my presentation because for me I see it in white. So okay, now
yes.
It's yeah, perfect. Thank you very much again, Joanna. And if you have any question, please write it in the chat, and will be addressed later on. So now we are moving to the next part, the practical part. Buying companies will introduce or will present their company and what they do, to understand what they are looking for and what products they are searching. So now I Ms. Cordula Schröder-Brochus will take over from global sourcing from the company Amazonenwerke. So Ms. Schröder, you can now take over to present. Yeah, perfect. I can see your presentation, but not in fully modus.
Okay. Hello from my side. So you can see it now.
Not yet.
Okay, let me try again.
Well, I can see it, but not in presentation. But you can continue.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Rosi. Yeah, I'm Cordula Schröder, Global Sourcing Division at Amazone. And also, as I already mentioned, I will give you a short overview of our company and also our needs of the company. So maybe starting with a short introduction of our company. Amazone was founded in 1883 by Mr. Heinrich Dreyer, and the company is still in the hands of the family owners, so in the 4th generation in the meantime of Dr. Justus and Christian Dreyer. And Amazone has approximately 2,500 employees all over the world. So here on the right side of the presentation, you see our turnover in million euro. So yeah, we had a quite good development within the past years. So in 2023, we made our record in case of turnover, 800 million euro. And out of these, we have like 20% round about domestic sales and 80% exports. Yes, so we produce agricultural machineries. So here you can see some of our products. So we used to say that we do every agricultural machineries from the harvest to the next harvest. So everything but not the harvester itself. So we have soil cultivation, we have seeders, fertilization, plant protection, but also some grasshoppers and the prophy hopper you can see on below, and the winter service spreader. So this is just a small overview of the products we produce. And the production itself is getting done on the one side in Germany itself. So here you can see some of our national production sites. The main facility or the main plant is in Gaste, which is nearby Osnabrück in the northern part of Germany. But yeah, as you can see here, there are some others. And we also have international production sites. So one in France, in Forbach, one in Hungary, shortly called Mojon, and one in Russia, in Samara. Yes, so these are our production sites. And then coming to our needs or our main commodities. So here you can see a lot of different pictures. So I just want to go through it. So we have, of course, needs of electronics as the topics is getting more and more. Also for agricultural machineries. So for example, we need wiring harnesses, which you can see on the right corner of the presentation on the bottom, but also lightings, sensors, and also switches. So we have casting parts and also forging parts round about in the range from 0.5 to 15 or 20 kgs. You can also see some of that in the presentation here on the right. Then we need some different rare parts, so tines, coulter discs, and coulters itself, which go through the soil itself. And then we have different needs in machining elements. So to start with hydraulics, hydraulic pumps, hydraulic fittings, tubes, and also hydraulic cylinders, which can also be seen on the right. And we also need some springs or bearings, shafts, gears, and other machining components. Yes. Then just to give you a short overview of our organization of the purchase department. So I am part of the global sourcing division, and we are responsible for all markets outside of Europe, so outside the European market. In the other plants, we have like local purchase departments, which are responsible for the European market. But everything which which we buy outside Europe is getting done by us. So we are responsible for all plants and your first contact in this detail. Last but not least, I would like to tell you how you could become a supplier at Amazone. So this is kind of a process for us, which starts on the left with a supplier questionnaire. So we have a form for that where we can just get some basic information about the companies, like how many employees the companies have, or the commodities, the material, the production itself, things like that. And with this, we check if this could fit for us. And also, it is important for us that the companies have some certifications. Otherwise, we always have like some internal discussions with our quality management. So that's the first step. We check that supplier questionnaire and then give a feedback. And if it's interesting, then we go over to the RFQ documents. So after agreeing on a NDA, we share some RFQs with drawings and also with our work standards for the different products, maybe. And if this is also done, then hopefully we get a quotation from the supplier. For that, we also have a standard Amazone form, which can be used, or which would be good to get used. And if the quotation is interesting for us and everything is good for this status, then for us, then we maybe have an audit. That's not always necessary, but that it depends a bit on our quality management. And last but not least, we would send an order of initial samples. And for that, we also then have a form for the test report. So we need some documentations with the samples itself then. So this process looks quite simple maybe, but to be honest, it's a lot of detailed work. And with our experience, it takes like an average time of 6 months until we can send the first sample order. So after that, sometimes we also need some pre-series tests. So we order maybe a lot of maybe 50 units first and test them in our machines, which could also need about 12 months or 1 year. So the possible supplier need to take some time for that. But when everything is good and the samples are good and we are like confident, then at the end, I think both sides would be happy because we have long-term partnerships and our machines are very long-term. So you can expect a very long cooperation then. Okay, that was just a short overview. If there are any questions, I think we have a Q&A session at the end. Until now, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Schröder-Brockes. I take over again the presentation. Thank you that you will be then staying until the end of the session. So as Ms. Schröder-Brockes already mentioned, if you have any question, please write it on the chat. I see there were some questions, but my colleague Lisa has been answering it. So thank you very much, Lisa, for that. Now we are moving to our next bio presentation from Mr. Sebastian Kitz, from the head of manufacturing outsourcing from the company Atritz Metalls Germany GmbH. So Mr. Kitz, I see you there. So please, you can now take over. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I just try to take over. Maybe you can see my screen right now.
Yes, we can see it. Perfect. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. So first of all, thank you very much for having the opportunity to present a general short introduction of the company Andritz Metal Germany. My name is Sebastian Ketz. I'm working since 19 years in this company, and my daily task is to take care on any we call it subcontracted equipment, which means based on our own engineered drawing parts, which considered the single part fabrication, but also as well as the complete equipment. And for these cases, I just prepared a rough summary of some pictures. I would like to guide you through this presentation, which is unfortunately not complete, finished at the moment, so not ready to share. In advance, information regarding the company Andritz Metal Germany. Andritz Metal Germany is located in Hema, western part of Germany, and we are a manufacturer of industrial plants for production of processing of hot and cold rolled stainless steel, but also coated metal and non-ferrous metals. We also have a second location in Krefeld, which is also very close to our headquarter in the western part of Germany. And our main clients can be found in the main steel maker. Let's call them like ThyssenKrupp or ArcelorMittal, POSCO, Tata, voestalpine, and so on and so on. And in our workshop here in Hema, we are going to assemble the key and core equipment, which will never be outsourced in a separate workshop. And on the other hand, the peripheral equipment, which is not contents of so much high accuracy, will be outsourced, let's say, all over the world. And due to the dynamic situation on the global market, as well as the geopolitical challenges, we are always interested and willing to detect sources which can help us out in different conditions. And by this, I'm happy to present and share now our requirements, our needs in this regard. So in general, I made a rough summary in view of different chapters, in total 10 here, but not limited to. We start with the mechanical equipment, means you will see complete assembled machines, including hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical wiring. We will see main welded parts in a single part condition, which will be used mainly in our workshop. We will see some turning and milling parts from small size to big size. We see a short overview of some casted materials. Here in Europe, we use the spherical casting. I know in Asia more the steel casting is more popular. In chapter 5, we refer to the steel structure and some foundation parts. Some steel work, we call it ducts or pipe work, bigger sizes. Chapter 7, tanks and hydraulic stations. Chapter 8, the furnace equipment, burner equipment in the chapter 9, and finally some roll equipment. In order to not bore you with an explanation of the function of every machine, I would just make a rough scroll out. If you have specific question to the use of the machine, maybe you can contact me directly or later in the Q&A. Please feel free to raise any question where I can help you out. Okay, these are some examples from our main equipment, which will be used in our processing lines and also rolling mills, fabricated, we can say all over the world. In Europe, we have some cluster in Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe. We are active in China. We also produce for the US market. Also some tank equipment in Mexico. To be honest, we don't have any experience with the Philippines or Indonesian market, so I'm looking forward to get the first impressions and experience. And wherever you can maybe detect something where you are capable to produce, or maybe you have a partnership or know somebody who could be able to produce at least a part of our requirements, feel free to give me the information, or we can have a meeting to investigate more in detail. So this is more or less a rough example of our complete mechanical equipment. Again, everything is based on our own engineering. Yeah, we have an own design department which make the engineering in our own hands. That means we have also the experience and know-how in order to make the clarification, explain the use of the equipment, and so on and so on. And these equipments basically were made in the last years for the US market. It was very strong. In former times, China was very strong. China fabrication gets to be strong again due to the requirements of our customers. Also, our customers are under heavy price pressure. Let's say for the complete equipment, chapter 1, we refer mainly to the Asian market. Chapter 2, welding parts, main welding parts. We can see here approximately weight of almost 12 tons, but could be also raised up to 20-25 tons. This is a mill table, will be assembled finally on our rolling mill in our own workshop here in Germany. Some base plates. That means we are talking about heavy welded structure, including mechanical treatment like machining. We are also talking about hardening process, stress relieving. We are talking about high accuracy. You can also see the nickel plated parts. So this could also be a process which is very interesting for us. And these specific equipment will mainly sourced in southern, eastern Europe at the moment because of the geographical situation and location. There are some specific parts which make sense to source them in Asia, but main of the parts will be sourced in Europe. Here you can see our main rolling mills in monoblock or 6-high form. You can see the main chocks for our rolls, which will be assembled, including into our rolling mill stands. The chocks for work rolls, backup rolls. This mid-size, we call it mid-size and big-size turning parts. There was a current order where it has been fabricated in China, so there we used this price advantage and could cover even the transportation to Germany for final assembly here in our workshop. So we always need to be flexible and decide from time to time. Here we have some tooth parts, cutting parts like shear shafts, knife shafts for the cutting of the material. Finally, some bronze and alloys, including the internal toothing, coiler shafts. And in the next chapter 4, there's the main casting without any accuracy machining. So this is just a rough casting block or casting part with a bit pre-machining and also conservation by coating of the untreated surfaces. Finally, chapter 5, our steel structure. That means over a complete processing line, for example, we need to have from time to time, depends on the real scope, the terminal equipment steel structure consisting of some beams, platforms, ladders, handrails, checker plates, and so on. And also depends on the scope. We are ready to deliver some foundation parts as these anchor sleeves. They will be finally used at the job site in connection to the concrete. The chapter 6, the duct equipment, this has been fabricated in Mexico, for example. So steel work, let's say, of 3 millimeter approximately steel plates, which will be used finally to assure the duct system in our rolling mills. We have complete tanks in carbon steel, but also in stainless steel condition. Hydraulic stations, sorry for this mess, I couldn't finish the presentation up to now, but it will be in a smooth manner very soon. Our furnace equipment handled by our colleagues in Krefeld, the second office in Germany of Andritz Metal Germany. These are parts of the rotary hard furnace. Here we see that the Indian market is very strong from customer view. That means Indian customer are ready to install these kind of rotary hard furnaces or heat treatment lines. Also in different accuracies, sometimes a bit less accuracy regarding the steel structure, the platforms here, but also some machine parts for the drive of the hard furnace. And also the doors are machine parts. Here we could see the base plate of the drive. You can see there's a tooth wheel and some shafts, machine surfaces. So this is probably always in the capability of every supplier to search if he's capable or not. All right, chapter 9 will be the burner equipment, let's say light steel structure welded in welded design without major machining works, will be used in our furnaces. In the burner housing, the gas lenses will be inserted, and by this we assure the function of the preheating of the furnace. And last but not least, our rolls in different kind of coatings like hard chrome, like tungsten carbide, like polyurethane. We have in our processing lines, let's say, 80% of the polyurethane, but several times also tungsten carbide, hard chrome, and rolls without a treatment, like maybe only hardening or maybe a rough surface for our use. So whenever you have any questions you want to put directly to me, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, I'm staying here for the Q&A, and yeah, I'm happy to receive your questions anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kitz. Indeed, there are already a question in the chat for you. I will just read it, and maybe you can moment. I'm just showing back to my presentation. You mentioned before that you don't have experience yet with sourcing in the Philippines or Indonesia, but Mr. Mandako in the chat asked if you have already, or you have already sourced in other ASEAN countries.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we sourced actively in China since I think more than 25 years. Also for the European market, we have some experience on the Indian market, but this is the limitation up to now. I see the question in the chat. What is the lead time of the delivery you expect from us? Okay, it always depends on the time frame. Normally, I can say we in the purchasing, we are always a bit in a hurry because we receive the manufacturing documents a bit late. But on the other hand, we have an early delivery date. That means we can say roughly for the mechanical equipment, the chapter 1, what we see first, we normally have a fabrication period of 4 to 6 months after receiving the manufacturing document. For the steel structure, could be possible to fabricate this in a period from 2 to 4 months. Always depends on the total tonnage of the accuracy of the equipment, but normally this will be part of our RFQ that we mentioned, the arrival of manufacturing documents as well as the expected delivery date.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Kitz, for the clarification. And again, thank you for the engaging presentation. If the questions pop up later on, you can write it in the chat. So now we are moving to the next presentation. I know that I said four buying companies will present today, but Mr. Dennis Perehat is on a sick leave, so we will jump to Mr. Thorsten Bach, Head of Purchasing from the company Mupro Services. Mr. Bach, I know that you are in the audience, so yeah, perfect. You can now take over the presentation. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to introduce you to Mupro and our requirements for new suppliers. My name is Thorsten Bach, and I'm responsible for the purchasing at the Mupro Group. I've been working for Mupro for more than 15 years. And first of all, let's take a look at the facts and figures of Mupro. Mupro is a premium manufacturer of fixing technology, vibration, and fire protection solutions. Our products are mainly installed at the construction site. We have more than 60 years of experience. The foundation was in the 19th.
Moment. Yeah, now it's working. Thank you very much. This is just an example of what the interested buying companies are looking for. If you think that you meet this demand, you can mark them in our platform. So now we are moving to our Q&A session. We invite you to if you there's a question behind there that you would like us to be addressed from our partners, from us, BME, or our speakers, you can write it in the chat. And I see so far all the questions has been answered. But from my side, I would like to ask a few questions to our speakers today. I would like to ask Ms. Trude Bruxius from Amazone Werke that she showed in her presentation. You showed in your presentation about how to become a supplier, the process. And my questions is, and especially in the last part, so for example, so once you have selected your supplier, what the key factors determine whether you continue working with them in the long term?
Yes, I think the main factor, of course, is the quality of the product itself. So we check the samples in different ways. So not only in our quality department for dimensions and things like that, but also in field tests because of the size of our machines. So we test them in the field, and that takes a lot of time mostly. So the quality itself is a big factor, but also the reliability of delivery times, also for the samples. That's the first step, which should get met, and these are important facts.
Thank you for the clarification. I just want to address a question for all three speakers. Just adding to what you just said, Ms. Trude Bruxius, about the quality. So how do you ensure that quality standards are then met by international suppliers? So just a question and would you like to add this?
No, basically the for production, or we found a supplier, we will send an RFQ. After this, we define a price level. Okay, it is interesting. Okay, we go the next step and proceed with an audit. Always the type of the part. It's a bearing or small rings. We can also do this during intermediate or final inspection, but for the big work, of course, to have an audit. By this, we will check the existing certificates of the work company. And yeah, I think for every supplier it's a risk, but also for every customer it's a risk to go a new cooperation. But anyhow, we are ready to take this risk, and every supplier can be sure that we will not place an order and 2 days in front of the delivery date we are asking, is it still available? We will follow the production. We will be very close. Main topic is also the reporting, as our requirements and also those from our customers has become more and more important in this regard. But I can say that we are not interested in one good shot. We are also interested in a long-term business relationship. Clear.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for the clarification. Mr. Bach, would you like to add something on this, as you showed before about the certifications?
Yes, I can add something about this. As you saw. Yes, no, it was unmute. So, as you saw in my presentation, I think we have the easiest parts of the purchasing products which we get it normally, and yeah, the quality is a standard, and we can test it in our lab. For example, we made some load result tests, and yeah, it's also important that you not only make one shot, and we would like to get a high quality or the normal standard quality which you needed for a construction site. We have some tolerance in this, but yeah, it makes no sense for us, for example, to make the best or the highest quality standard, and yeah, for us it's also important to get the correct price on this, and yeah. Quality is a must, especially the certification for some items, but I think not yeah, as in the situation from the previous speakers. There's another situation like in our market, because construction site is, I think, also standard, but the lowest standard for the quality here.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for answering my questions. And thank you again for yeah, presenting or showing us what are the criteria for selecting suppliers. I don't see any question in the chat, so I just. But if later on you will have any question, you can contact my colleague Joanna Szanowska. I believe you already know her from previous editions, and yeah, I just want to say thank you very much again for our speakers, to our partners. What impressive presentations we had today. So I believe we will see us again in this edition. Well, I think yeah, we are on time. That's great. So from my side, thank you again for joining us. Madam Salamat. Terima kasih. We will see us in our main event that will take place online between 16 June and 4th July. So yeah, wishing you rest of the day, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.